Guys, it's Saturday. It's time to stretch. 30 minutes on the clock. This is not premeditated. It's just a nice random stretch. Sorry for my tiny shirt. I'm going to try to keep it down. This is just a nice 30-minute stretch. Thanks for joining the Church of Calisthenics. If you join me for the other 5 days of the week, you got a lot of tension in your body right now, and I need to get it out of you. So work with me here. Do what you can. Do what you want. As long as you're just doing 30 minutes of stretching a day, that's the bare minimum. I would recommend doing as much stretching as you can. But just stay with me. I'm just starting some butterfly, get my hips kind of stretched out. I'm not a stretch specialist. Specialist? Yeah, sorry, guys. You can tell I had some fun last evening. It's been a great morning so far. Went and got all my food for the next couple weeks. Life is good. We're here. We're stretching. We're feeling better. Hope everybody's had a wonderful weekend so far. If you're working this weekend, keep going. You're almost there. Gonna stretch out my legs straight. Just do a nice front fold. Barely leaning through. Trying to keep my integrity in my spine. I'm just going to be doing some stretches today. My favorite yoga stretches, anything I've learned. A lot of them I've stolen from Lily. She's a yoga instructor. So I'll try to do them to my best ability. Don't overdo it. Always just put yourself in a position that feels good. One of my favorite yoga instructors likes to say, find that juicy spot. Yeah, I don't know why it sounds funny, but it's actually a really fun way of describing the feeling. Find that spot that just feels nice and tender, but not like you don't want to strain yourself or push yourself. I'm just barely pushing into my hands, trying to inch forward. Stretching is just so important because we just don't really value the potential of, how tense our bodies are. My hamstring this week was so tight. That leg workout yesterday made me feel really good. Now both my legs hurt instead of just one. And that's what I love about it, that symmetry. I just split my legs open. I'm doing a nice front fold through the front of my legs. Nice and easy, guys. I'm not going to do a crazy stretch. It's just a nice and simple. Keep a soft bend in your knees here. Don't lock your knees like me. Kind of try to keep a soft bend. Maybe stretch through your hands. I try to grab the bottom of those feet if I can. Not trying to bend too much just yet. Just trying to keep that back extended for the first part of this. And then we'll start leaning in a little bit as we go. Just be careful. Don't overstretch. You're just trying to get those muscles nice and limber and ready for next week. I recommend doing something for yourself tomorrow as well. I'm going to go to yoga tomorrow morning and be instructed how to stretch, and makes it even easier because you don't even have to think. Bringing those feet back in for a little butterfly. Oh, just getting nice and stretched out. I'm going to go back and forth, not like yoga, but just kind of like doing the same things over and over again just to reset us. Obviously, anything that feels great to you. I love child's pose, going into downward dog, and that sequence, just trying to feel your back out and let your back stretch. Our backs are so tight from sitting in our chairs all week. I know I was sitting in mine way too much. I'm going to go over to my right side, stretch through my right leg. But yeah, you got to get out of the chair. I like having a standing desk, so that option's available to me. I did not take advantage of it this week, and I regret it. Stretch through that right hip. Like I said, you start keeping the integrity in the spine, not really leaning in just yet, and letting that body slowly dip into that leg, feeling it through the hamstring. But this stuff is incredible for that lower back. I have been having to stretch heavily on Saturdays and Sundays now, because if I don't, my lower back is destroyed from sitting all weekend. Hope everybody's enjoying their vices. I went over to the left now, doing the same thing, starting nice and propped up. And obviously showing moderation. Sorry, I keep cutting in and out of like instructions and just wanting to talk. But hope everybody's just taking their time, not doing too much, being kind to themselves. Hope you're having fun this weekend, especially if you took the whole week off like me. I was so ready for last night just to reset and enjoy some television. Just making sure I have my mic. Stretch through that left side. Good. I'm trying to just do about 15 to 20 seconds on each side. Sorry if I overextend it. I just feel, find that right spot, and sometimes I get stuck in it. Now I'm back to center. Just stretching it out. And 3, 2, 1. I'm bringing those feet back in here. Do some more butterfly. Maybe you want to do some supported butterfly. You can lean down on your back for just a second. Oh, this is so nice. Stretching is amazing too, because you can just not think about anything. But I've already drank like 3 cups of coffee today, so I'm talking a lot. But we're doing it. We're here. We're showing up. Even for stretching, still the hardest part is just showing up. I'm a testament to that. I can talk myself out of anything, and the whole point of these videos and the daily challenges is just to give you something to look forward to. Join me in the experience of life. Tolerance. We bring down our tolerance by having moderation, and that's the whole point of these videos. Okay, I came out of that not supported, that was just a fish. But yeah, be careful when you're coming out of those. Maybe you're not as limber as me and you can really mess something up. Something I wanted to do again that I did in my last stretch video is just a leftover right twist. Do not use your arms to turn. I've been realizing I've been messing my back up using my arms to turn. When you try to do this, just try to turn with your torso. I kind of use my hands as props now, so I don't use them to turn. Maybe you can get your hand over that leg to do the turn, but do not force the pressure with your arms. Because ultimately, the way I might see it is, or the reason why I'm getting injured, is I think my arms are stronger than my back muscles are. So when I use my arms to force that tension, instead of using my just torso, I might extend or pull something in my back. We can switch sides. I'm trying just to warm up a little bit. I don't want to do them too much just yet. Just a few seconds on each side. Not using the arm to turn. Just use the arms as props. They're props. They're just kind of like you're a tripod. Or same thing. You can kind of feel it through the hip here too. That's where you really want to feel it, is in your torso and your hip, not necessarily in your back. It is going to affect your back, I think. Obviously, I just switched to the other side for just another few seconds, but I don't want to use that arm to turn. I might still even injure my back, but it's okay. It's like a one-day injury. The reason why stretching is so important as well is because part of this journey is you're going to get injured a lot. Your feet are going to hurt, your knees, ankles. The human body is made to be very disciplined in getting the machine working, and it takes a long time to get it working. Switch to the other side one more time. And part of that is lubricating it, and this stretching is part of that lubrication. Don't use the arm. Just try to extend through the torso, feeling it through your core. And this is that essence of what we need to stay limber, to stay healthy. Good. Coming out of those twists nice and slow. Maybe do a front fold just to get reset. I'm going to get on our backs in just a second and do some wobbling. This stretch is meant to be really easy. If you're sweating through this, you're doing something too much. Now I'm just holding my legs in, hugging myself, pressing into my lower back, trying to rub out that spine a little bit. Always reminding you, do not put yourself in uncomfortable positions. This should not be uncomfortable. Everything's meant to be at your own ability, what feels good. But I know after legs yesterday, I need to stretch these hips out. We did a lot of lunges, a lot of squats. It was excellent. I hope you were there. I'm getting some thumbnails coming at y'all soon. So my videos are a little bit easier to tell from the thumbnail instead of having to read my descriptions. It's kind of a story within the descriptions. Need to learn how to condense that. I'm pressing those hips into the floor a little bit. Maybe you want to do like Happy Baby, where you put your feet up and kind of press. Oh, it feels amazing. Sorry if my butt crack's on display. This might get restricted. We'll see. Press into that lower back if you can. You don't want your back to come off the ground too much, but just kind of see what you can do. But my favorite thing about just stretching and yoga sequencing is just trying to make sure you can get better at the stretch without really hurting yourself. If you want to roll up. Do not roll up if it's not comfortable. Get up nice and slow using your hands to support yourself if this is heavy stretching for you. I like to roll up because I'm an idiot, and I like to just see how limber I can go. But I'm back into butterfly. We just did a little on our back motion. Now we're going to get into tabletop in just a second. Oh, man. Stretching, it's the best. Turn on some music if you want to. I didn't want to turn any on today. I'm enjoying the silence. I'm in downward dog, pressing into those heels, pressing my core into the ceiling. This will probably be the most intensive part of this whole stretch. Doing some downward dogs, tabletops, and then eventually we'll do some stuff standing up, but same thing. I'm not going to go too crazy. Sit into those heels, pressing the core up to the ceiling. Oh, sitting back, just taking a moment, sitting into those heels if I can. If it's too much, maybe you want to prop up, stand up for a second. Oh yeah, press to that core on those knees. Oh, let's go back into child's pose. Extending out, pressing those hands forward, But yeah, throw some of your favorite music on. Maybe just talk to yourself like I do. Um, Trying just to still stay committed to this, still showing up. If you can't tell, I am a little inebriated, but not obviously past the point of where I can't communicate. Coffee will help with that. But yeah, even when you're doing the stuff that you necessarily don't want to do just yet in the day, you still show up to your obligations, making sure your mind, body, and soul are taken care of. Oh, stretch into those heels, put that butt into those heels. Good. Let's come up into plank. Just a moment. Stay with me. Back into downward dog. We're just holding it for a second. I'm gonna do some nice frog lunge stretches. Like I said, do what you can. Do not overextend. You're not trying to hurt yourself here. You're just stretching out. Staying in that downward dog. Let's come back into plank. We'll do one more child's pose because child's pose is the best. Maybe you want to bring those hands down to your heels. I don't know. This is a nice and easy, relaxing stretch. Oh, child's pose is so nice for meditation because it's like when you put your head on the ground, it's like all you can think about, just focusing on your mind. You're grounding yourself. Get it? And that's my one joke for the evening. Oh, come back up into plank. We're going to do a nice leg extension, just holding for a second, and we'll bring it through. Push into those heels. This is a great calf and hamstring stretch, pulling, helping that back, get that tension out of your back. I'm going to extend my right leg up first. Holding it, trying to extend through, have a nice soft bend in that supporting leg. Oh, this is excellent. We're going to hold it for just a minute because I need this bad. Bad. I'm going to tuck my shirt in a second so I don't look too provocative. But if you like the half skin, let me know. Your opinions are always appreciated. Don't forget to breathe out of your nose and through your mouth. In your nose, out your mouth. Whatever you want to do. My nose is a little clogged today. I'm going to bring that leg down. Just a moment. Oh, go into child's pose. Whew, come down. Enjoy the break. Let those arms extend out. Sorry if the camera angle is not optimal, guys. I'm just showing up. I'll try to get some better production then next week. Baby steps. Just did a downward dog for a moment. Pushing into that downward dog. Sometimes I like to reset, come back into plank, downward dog. Whatever feels good. If you like holding the downward dog, hold it. Now we're going to extend that left leg up. Just holding it up for, 10 seconds or so. Nice soft bend in that supporting leg. My right knee is hurting, so making sure to be gentle here, focusing on my injuries, how I can help them, and how not to make it harder. This is about recovery. Give yourself some love. We're going to hold that leg for just a second. And 3, 2, bring it down. Drop those knees, child's pose. Give yourself a second in child's pose. I'm going to tuck my shirt in and tie up. I wasn't prepared, guys, if you can't tell. I've had a fun morning. Enjoying myself. Oh, getting to those child's pose, though. Sorry if the mic's not optimal now. Just hang with me. We're trying not to annoy each other. We're just getting a stretch in. Sorry if you hate my voice. It's just part of the product. Oh, extend those arms out. Extend them. Feel through that child's pose. We're trying to get nice and stretched out because we're going to do a frog stretch. Come back up into plank. Good. Pull that right leg up. We're doing that right leg extension for just a second, and then we're going to just go ahead and bring it through. I like to put mine right in the middle of my hands. Still trying to use my hands to support myself for just a second. We're going to do an extended lunge just for a few seconds. This is probably the most extensive part of the workout or the stretch. So just take your time here. If you just want to keep your hands on the ground too, that's A-okay. Don't try to hurt yourself. I'm going to push up into this extended lunge for just a moment. Oh, I'm tight from yesterday. Extra tight. And when I come back down, I'm going to put my hands to the left of my foot. That feels better to me. It kind of allows me to open my hips up a little bit. I feel like the stretch is more extensive through there. So I'm going to come back down because I'm really tight, so I don't want to overdo this. I don't want to do too much. I'm moving my leg a little bit out, separating my hips. My hips are still facing towards the wall. They're just more open now. This one's kind of extending out, but I'm feeling the stretch, making sure I'm not hurting myself. Just feeling it out. At any point it becomes too much, you can drop that back leg, take the tension off, and you still get a good stretch. Perfect. I'm going to hold for just another second. And 3, 2, bring it back. Child's pose. I'm doing downward dog for just a second, but now child's pose. Sorry guys, I'm a bad stretch instructor. I'm a calisthenics guy. This is just something I do for fun. But yeah, I need to get some type of stretch instructional. Enjoy that child's pose, guys. Sitting in those hips. We're about to do that left leg in just a second. Come back into a plank, downward dog, left leg extended. Maybe you put your foot a little too close to the wall, so now you got to work it a little bit more. That's okay. We'll get higher. Nice soft bend in that supporting leg. Bring that left leg through. I'm going to hold it in between my hands for a second. Focusing on that structure in my hips. Trying to keep my hips square to the wall. Or whatever direction I'm facing. And then we're going to extend into that extended lunge. Just for 5 seconds. Nothing crazy. In your nose. Out your mouth. Oh, that balance is tough, guys. Now I'm going to try to extend my hip a little bit to the left. I'm barely moving my leg. I'm going to put my hands on the inside. Trying to extend through that left hip, get us nice and stretched out from all those lunges yesterday. Sometimes you got to do an extra tough lunge to help with the lunge that you did earlier in the week. It's a proverb or something, I'm pretty sure. Stay with me. Like I said, this is going to be the toughest part. Everything after this will be a lot simpler. Good. And 3 and 2. Push that leg back. Downward dog. Slowly into plank. Working that back out. Put those knees down. Child's pose. I love it. Child's pose will save your life. Deep breaths. All right, let's stand up for a second. I'm going to do the standing portion. I know the camera's a little bit off, but luckily it's leg workouts I'm doing standing. I'm just going to use that right leg as support here as my base, crossing my left heel over my right knee. I forgot what this stretch is called. Figure 4, maybe. This is a tough one. Take your time. You don't want to have to go too low if it's tough on you. So go as low as you can. Just hold it for a few seconds. And 3, 2, let's try the left side. Nice and easy. Sorry you can't see my head. Maybe you can now. We're here. If you notice, I'm wearing glasses today. I wear contacts all week, so I try not to wear my contacts on the weekends because, yeah, contacts suck. Tell me about it. Try to put your weight in the heel maybe. It might help you stabilize a little bit. Take your time here. We're just trying to get the other side for maybe just 5 to 10 seconds. Do what you can. If you want to keep alternating, keep alternating. It's a good hip flexor exercise. Pressing that leg, that left side down a little bit. You don't have to do it yourself. Let's try to get a few seconds on the other side. I obviously need to practice my stretching, sequencing, and instruction. So thanks for being patient with me. If you somehow watch this video, I praise you. I thank you. Okay, be careful, guys. Don't hurt yourself. Let's just do a nice front fold. All right, I got to focus. I can press my hands to the ground. You don't do that if it's too much. You go as far as you need to. Maybe you want to hold down on your legs. You can press that chest in. Deep breaths. I keep getting this weird black thing in my toe. I don't know what it's from. Feel those hamstrings. We're just going to do a side lunge for just a second. Starting with a nice split. I'm going to sit into my right side first. Sit into that hip. Try to maybe sit that spine up. Make sure you're not leaning over too much. Sitting to the heel. Try to get those toes off the ground. Try to extend through this left side. And 3, 2, let's go to the left. Oh, yeah. Nice and slow. Trying to keep the toes off the ground. I like to put the pressure in the heels. Maybe this extended leg, you probably want to put your toes on the ground, but the base leg, I definitely want to keep it in the heel, keeping a nice flex through my toes. Sit into it. Good. Try the other side. Just a few more seconds. Excellent. A little bit more on this side. Be gentle to yourself. Do not overdo it. 10 minutes left, guys. And then that's just 30 minutes of stretching. Even if you did your own regimen, that's all that matters. For whatever reason, you showed up to listen to me talk about trying to stretch, and that's amazing. I don't know why you're here, but you made it. Hope you're enjoying my calisthenics videos. Leave comments about what you like, don't like. I'm trying to add in breaks because I realize these videos need to be more accommodating to people who need time to let themselves reset. Pause the video whenever you need to. Obviously, if you got more than 30 minutes to spare, give yourself time to grow into these exercises. But I think if you just do what you can week after week, you'll see the growth. You'll see what you can do. You got to do the basics and just get really good at the simple things. It's repetition. You're not just going to magically have the body you want. Oh, feel it through, guys, the center. Let's go back down to the ground. I love that front fold. Oh. I'm going to do a pigeon. I'm going to start in child's pose, though. But yeah, all this stuff takes just showing up, guys. Repetition, repetition every day. Make it easy for yourself to show up. Do not overdo it. Child's pose. Let's do some pigeon. So with pigeon, I like to extend that right leg forward, bringing that left thigh behind. Kind of maybe that heel is going to be right above my left thigh. And I'm doing extended pigeon here where I'm pushing the arms up with the shoulders. Try not to bend too far back with my chest and back, but you know, whatever feels good. You'll know exactly what feels good in this exercise. It's a weird one. Deep breaths. We're going to do a nice little cool S-turn. Sit into that hip for just a moment, coming out of the pigeon really slow. You can bring that leg up behind a little bit. So that left heel will now kind of be sitting into your left butt cheek a little bit. Right foot can be on that right leg. A nice turn here. Same thing. Do not use the pressure of your leg to turn your core, flex your core. Use your hands as props. Use them as props. Tripod. Nice little turn to the right. Maybe you want to turn down on that right shoulder, looking down your right shoulder. Let your neck extend. Maybe you want to turn to the left. I don't know. Look up at the sky. Don't overdo it. Oh, don't pop your neck like me. Don't do that. Don't do that. It felt good, but I feel like there's ramifications. You can keep turning through that core. Turning through that core. Oh, good. We're going to come back into that pigeon, extending that back leg back. Right leg forward. Now we're just going to do a nice resting pigeon. Those elbows on the ground. We're just going to sit into it for a few minutes. Kidding. Just like 20 seconds. Don't overdo it. This is all for you. All to make you feel better. If you're not feeling better, you're doing something wrong. Deep breaths. Don't forget to show some gratitude to yourself. You did a lot this week. You're doing it every day. You're showing up. That's all you can ask of yourself. Showing up. It's the toughest part. All right, let's come into that pigeon really slow, nice and easy. We'll go ahead and extend that other leg forward, left leg. Nice extended pigeon. Pushing that right leg back. Putting the top of my foot on the ground. Pressing through that left hip now. Extended. We're almost done, y'all. It's crazy how fast stretching goes. I'm sorry I'm not really keeping a time sequence here. I'm probably doing a lot of sides in balance, but that's just me. Main thing is just that you keep doing stretches that feel good to you. If you need to follow along perfectly to me, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm kidding. I know a little bit what I'm doing. I've done a few stretch classes. Maybe not enough. Definitely not enough to be an instructor, but enough to get us through this. 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Here we go. Like I said earlier, as always, guys, just be disciplined as you can with all of your vices, your food. I know I've had some fun this morning, had some ice cream. I'm just laying down just a second until we go into our turn. Just letting the elbows dip. But maybe you want to stay up in that extended. And then in just a second, let's sit back down in that hip. Nice and easy. This pigeon's a lot. I've been holding it for a second. But pull that right leg in, pressing the bottom of the left foot into the right hip now. and turn with your core, not with your arm press, using your hands as props. Use those fingers as props. What would that be? Like five extensions on a tripod. That would turn it into like 13. So a mega tripod. No, that doesn't work like that. It'd still just be with 10. I don't know. Oh yeah, then I forgot. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just thinking about ridiculous things about tripods and other versions of tripods. I need to do some research. Ignore that last part. Staying in that turn for just a second. Nice and easy. You can tell I'm having a moment today. Sorry, I'm not very extended today as far as discussions and stuff. I'm just trying to stay in tune. Let's come out of that turn nice and slow. We're going to go back into that pigeon. We're going to do a nice resting pigeon with our elbows on the ground. Nice and easy here. 4 minutes on the clock. It's been a pleasure, guys, to just take you through this very amateur stretch video. I don't know how I'm going to get better, but I'm going to try. I'm going to put in the effort every week. Sounds like I need to go ahead and create a nice breakdown of the stretch video I want to do every Saturday. And yeah, this kind of stretch is very easy. Like I would consider this a very nice resting stretch. You're not meant to do too much. We can come out of that pigeon nice and slow. Awesome. I love the pigeon. Let's do some child's pose to reset those hips. Go slow here. You just did a lot with that pigeon. Go slow in that child's pose, extending those arms. I would just call like probably half this video is just child's pose, right? And that I'm okay with. That's my brand. My brand is child's pose. Oh, sitting to those feet. If it feels good, if you need to come up a little bit, come up. In just a second, we're going to come into tabletop and just do a little upper body stretching now for those last 3 minutes. I didn't forget your upper body. Let's extend that right arm out. Don't overextend. You're just feeling through the lat, maybe a little bit through your core. Trying to go a nice, easy stretch forward, reaching out in front of you, just trying to grab air. Try to reach through. Don't overextend too much. Just try to keep your shoulders in line, even though the shoulders extend. Obviously, I know it's kind of weird to say that. Let's come down with the right, extend to the left. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Hold that left for just a second. Extend through. Try to pull through. Yeah, and all these stretches, try to inch a little bit. That's the main thing about getting better at stretching. You don't overdo it. You just barely add little increments every stretch you're doing. That's a personal quip. I'm not saying it's the best thing. I'm just saying that's what I like. Obviously, that's the whole point of these videos. I don't know why I'm giving you that disclaimer. 2 minutes. Let's go down. Let's do some cat cows. On my cat, I'm going to extend my back to the ceiling, slowly raising my spine, flexing my butt in, pulling through. And then the cow, pushing that butt back, feeling it through the core, pressing that chest up, maybe extending the neck into cat. And don't forget your cow. Good. We're going to come on our knees for just a second. I'm going to do some overhead extensions. Maybe one more cat and cow. It feels right. Extend through that core is such an incredible core flex. Core flexibility. We're almost there. You're almost done. Sit into those hips for just a second. Extend those arms up. Get those hands clasped. Create some tension. I'm going to come on my knees just to make it a little bit easier. Come down to the right. Feeling through that left side. We're just trying to give that upper body a nice little stretch for this last minute. Let's come back up center. Keeping the tension in your hands. Trying to feel it through your back and your shoulders. Come down to that left. Oh, feel it through your right side. Sorry, guys, if I'm not explaining this in a mirrored way, but like I said, this is not my forte just yet. I got to make it my forte, so these first few rounds of videos are going to be a little awkward. Stay with me. Come back up center. Let's get that right side one more time, and then we're going to get the left. Just a few more seconds. We're almost done. And down to the left. Pull to that right side. And 3, 2, bring those hands in front. Kind of pull them a little bit. Put some tension in your back. Pull through. Let that back extend. Bring those hands around back. Extend your arms down. Pulling through your shoulders. Got to stretch those shoulders out. I got a bad shoulder. Not a fan. but I got to work with it. I got to be nice to it. I got to love it. And that's part of this love right here, is extending, pushing those hands down to the ground. 5 seconds, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to plan on having a little discussion about replacements and how to replace the bad things in your life. Till next time.